What if the greatest mysteries of our world aren't in the future but buried in our past? Scattered across the globe there are ancient relics, undeciphered texts and unexplained phenomena that defy everything we thought we knew about human history. And one of them contains a twist so unsettling it may force us to question whether our ancestors were truly primitive, or if we've forgotten a chapter of humanity entirely. So stay with me, because what you're about to discover might just rewrite history as we know it. In the arid hills of southeastern Turkey, archaeologists once surveyed what they thought was just a grassy mound. But when they began digging, they uncovered something that shouldn't exist. Buried beneath layers of earth were towering T-shaped megaliths, some weighing over 10 tons, arranged in intricate circles. These weren't random stones, they were carved with symbols, animals, and abstract patterns. Some depicted foxes, snakes, vultures. Others showed human arms, crossed in a posture still debated today. This site is called Göbekli Tepe, and here's the shock. It dates back to around 9600 BCE. That's 11,600 years ago, 7,000 years before Stonehenge, 6,000 years before the Egyptian pyramids, and before agriculture had even taken root. Let that sink in. A temple complex, constructed not by farmers or city builders, but by nomadic hunter-gatherers. So how did a people without permanent settlements, without metal tools, without the wheel, build something so enormous and intentional? And more importantly, why? Could this mean civilization didn't begin with farming, but with spiritual architecture? What if the urge to worship, to mark the stars, to connect with something divine came first? In 1901, Greek sponge divers discovered a Roman-era shipwreck near the tiny island of Antikythera. Amid the statues and amphorae, they found a corroded lump of bronze, nothing that seemed particularly exciting. But decades later, scientists X-rayed the artifact and revealed something utterly astonishing: gears, dials, rotating discs, ancient Greek inscriptions. This wasn't just debris, it was a machine. Today we call it the Antikythera mechanism, and it might be the most advanced piece of ancient technology ever found. It could track the cycles of the moon, predict eclipses, and model the movements of celestial bodies using a system of over 30 interlocking bronze gears. This ancient analog computer was built around 80 BCE, but the complexity of its design wouldn't be seen again for another 1,000 years. And here's the twist. When modern engineers analyzed the gearing system, they discovered it used a mathematical principle known as a differential gear, an innovation thought to have been invented in the 1500s. Let that register. Someone, over 2,000 years ago, built a device so precise, it anticipated Renaissance engineering by a millennium. Who were these brilliant minds? And how did such knowledge simply vanish? In a quiet library in Italy lies a manuscript no one can read. Its pages are filled with looping, delicate script in a language spoken by no known civilization. The Voynich manuscript has puzzled cryptographers, linguists, even AI systems. Some of its pages depict plants that don't exist. Others show bathing women in strange organic systems. There are star charts, zodiac diagrams, symbols that appear meaningful, yet remain undecoded. Is it a medical text, a lost language, an elaborate hoax? Despite decades of analysis, no one has cracked the Voynich code. And here's the real question: what if it's genuine? What if it's the last surviving knowledge of a forgotten culture? Or something else entirely? In the small town of Taos, New Mexico, people have reported hearing a strange, persistent, low-frequency hum since the early 1990s. It's not imagined. Some residents hear it constantly, others not at all. Scientists brought in sensitive microphones and seismic equipment, but couldn't locate a source. No machines, no fault lines, no patterns. To this day, the Taos hum remains unexplained. Is it some unknown geophysical phenomenon, military experimentation, or something stranger, like an atmospheric anomaly we don't yet understand? If sound can exist, but remain untraceable, what else might be hidden just beyond our senses? August 15, 1977. At Ohio State University's Big Ear Radio Observatory, a computer printer logged an incoming signal. It lasted 72 seconds, was narrow-band, and came from the direction of Sagittarius. It was precisely the kind of signal scientists had hoped to receive from intelligent extraterrestrials. Astronomer Jerry Amon circled the printout and wrote just one word in the margin: "Wow." Since then, the "wow" signal has never been repeated. It has never been traced to a satellite, aircraft, or Earth-based origin. To this day, it's the best candidate we've ever had for alien contact. Could it have been a brief transmission from another world? And if so, was it meant for us, or did we just eavesdrop on something we weren't supposed to hear? Near the coast of Japan, divers have discovered stone structures submerged under the sea. At first glance they resemble temples, pyramids and plazas, massive terraces and steps carved with geometric precision. Some geologists argue they're natural formations, but others believe they're the ruins of an ancient city lost to rising sea levels at the end of the Ice Age. Were they built by a forgotten maritime civilization, a culture erased by time and tide? The sea may have swallowed their names, but not their stone. And then, there's the London hammer, found in a Texas canyon encased in rock that some geologists date to over 100 million years old. The hammer's head is made of iron, its wooden handle partially petrified. Critics argue the dating is wrong, that the concretion formed more recently. But the questions remain: how did a human-made tool get trapped in ancient rock? Is it evidence of a lost civilization, a time traveler's mistake, or simply a geological coincidence? From the buried temples of Göbekli Tepe, to the coded pages of the Voynich manuscript, to machines built before their time, each mystery doesn't just ask us to solve a puzzle, it asks us to reimagine what's possible. Could it be that humanity is older, wiser, and more mysterious than our textbooks suggest? Maybe progress isn't a straight line. Maybe it's a spiral, where knowledge is gained, lost, and rediscovered again. Ask yourself, what else have we missed? What knowledge is still buried under sand, sea, or stone? These stories remind us that the past still holds secrets. And perhaps, the greatest discoveries aren't ahead of us, but still buried beneath our feet. If you love unraveling the forgotten, decoding the mysterious, and diving deep into history's hidden layers, subscribe. Because every artifact, every signal, every unexplained hum, is another thread in a grander story. And we're just beginning to unravel it.